This is Colin Dixon with NSCREENMEDI, and I'm at the Connected TV show in London speaking with Roma Kojima, who is Senior Director of OTT Video with CBC. Roma, you gave such an interesting presentation on how CBC is re-engaging with digital audiences. Tell us about what you're doing online.
So I manage a service called CBC Gem, and what we do is we bring the best of Canadian and especially CBC television content to a direct-to-consumer OTT model. And it's been this version of the service since December 2017, and we make a ton of content, over 4,000 hours of content on video-on-demand content. Available for free with an ad-supported model as well. We have 14 live-streamed linear TV channels, 13 of which have dynamic ad insertion, and one of them is our premium news service as well, CBC News Network.
Right, and so you're a little bit different model than probably many of our audiences used to, because you're public financed, and there's also private financing through the advertising.
That's right. The CBC has always been, at least in recent history, been a hybrid funding model.
Right.
And that means that the Government of Canada, under the Department of Heritage, funds the big chunk of our annual operating budget, but we are also responsible for RevGen, both from advertising as well as subscription revenues.
And you're carrying that through into the online product, into Gem, right?
Absolutely, yes.
So there's like 4 levels of user to this product. Quickly run us through the 4 levels.
3, actually.
Three.
So the first level, and this came out of a set of decisions that we made that really tied to our public service mandate, because our job at the end of the day is to make this content available to the Canadians by virtue of somebody just physically being in Canada. So that's really important to us. And so the way we set it up was, the first layer, we call it the guest layer. That really just means download the app, show up on the website, and hit play, essentially. And you immediately have access to all of our children's video content, and there's a good amount, absolutely ad-free. You get access to the Ottawa Live linear channel as well. You get access to all of our current season and live events and all of our sort of digital or Gem original content. And that's available, again, you have to do nothing but show up and hit play. If you decide to become a member, and this is the same membership that you would use across the CBC, for example, to comment on a news article, if you log in as that member, the service remembers you, so you can pick up where you left off and have those OTT features, but you also get access to our back catalog of all of our shows, so that's we can see the back seasons. You also get access to the other 12 linear TV channels. So there's the regional channels, for example, Fredericton or St. John's or on the West Coast, and you get access to all of those. This is still part of the ad-supported model, so you don't have to pay anything dollar-wise, but you get access to essentially all of our content, with one exception, and that really comes in at the third level, which is the premium feature. And that one is you pay the $5 a month with a 1-month trial, and the video on demand becomes ad-free, as well as you get access to our premium news service, CBC News Network, which is also available if you have a paid cable package. That's where it comes out.
Right. And you can do ad targeting with this product as well, right?
Yeah, we have our own system that's sitting on our partners with Google, and so we have the dynamic ad insertion, which works with them as well, and they've been terrific partners. So we can target in a number of different ways, and it's a lot more valuable, especially when we get into that linear TV experience, because with the dynamic ad insertion, we're already doing regionalized targeting just as a base case, and so we're able to really layer on other things as we need to for the advertising.
Now, is there a big difference in the age groups that are watching the linear channels and this product? I bet there is, right?
Oh, get me in trouble, why don't you? So yes, there is, and so the Gem service is both as a platform and a platform experience, but also definitely from an audience perspective, it does skew younger than our sort of more traditional linear TV audiences, both of which are extremely valuable audiences to us, and where what we found with our Gem audiences is that they live right in line with the average sort of OTT audience spread that one sees in the North American market, for sure. So our sort of age spread is in that fairly valuable, the 35 to 55 is good, but we've also got a good amount of 25 to 50s as well, sort of those early to mid millennials, right? The 25 to 35s, and which actually is really well in line with the rest of our digital service, because as you know, Gem is part of the larger CBC digital ecosystem, and we hit something like 60% of Canadian millennials on a monthly and if not more regular basis.
60%.
60%.
Yeah, you've got to pursue those millennials, because as we know, they're bailing from regular television so fast, aren't they?
Just, that's how that goes. But that, it's not about bailing from regular television, though, just to clarify that. Look, none of us, we all still call it watching TV. Right from the very little kids, and we have, content targeted to those little preschoolers, it's still called watching TV. It's just the screen that has changed. And that's a really important thing that we're trying to focus on, which is, look, when it comes to a TV experience or a video, a long-form video, or sort of a more passive video experience, which is how we've structured the service, it's about the biggest, most convenient screen you have access to. So when you're at home, it's on the TV. When you leave that room, that value immediately gets transferred to your pocket or to whichever TV you have access to. So it's still watching TV, it's still television. It's just a more fungible screen experience.
Is the connected TV still the main screen for it? Is that the way you're seeing most viewership?
Yeah, in fact, the growth is really coming from there. So in fact, that's really a big part of our approach as well. And depending on the type of service. So from an OTT perspective, our approach is starting to become really connected TV first, not just from a UX standpoint, but also as we're thinking about funnel management and sort of life cycle management for our customers, because it kind of hits you right from the very little, sort of in your living room, very young age, all the way up to, as senior as an audience goes. So, yeah, absolutely, connected TVs, the big screen, but you can't ignore the other ones. It's just which point do you start from? That gets interesting, and it's just a fun challenge, because it's just a much more dynamic part of the industry at the moment, at least from my perspective.
Sure is. Well, look, I hope we get to talk to you again soon, after you can talk maybe a little bit more freely about how many people are coming and some of the usage statistics that you're seeing.
Someday.
But this has been great, Roma. Thanks so much for spending time with us.
Yeah, thank you, Colin.
This has been Colin Dixon with NSCREENMedia.